from sunny San Diego with our latest episode. And it's so awesome to see you all back, and it's great you're watching here. This has been quite a rally for Solana, and everyone that's in the Solana universe somehow, or just observing Solana or anything, you have been, recognizing it. You have been noticing it. It has been, I think, from the bottom, kind of late December, a few days before New Year's Eve, until January 8th or 9th or so, it was a 123% gain in less than 2 weeks, in maybe 10 days or so, right? So it has retreated a little bit from its highs. So it was like 1730. Now it's maybe 1630. It was like 1580 or something. But it's keeping the, let's say, around $16 really nicely, and the all-time low was even below $8. Not the all-time low, but last year's all-time low. And that is quite a rally. That is remarkable. And we've been seeing it in other areas as well. So other altcoins have been rallying, and tech stocks have been rallying, but not as strong as we've seen it for Solana. So now, what are the reasons for that, and what does it mean for you? And I will talk about what it means for you and what you can do now, whether you're already invested in Solana, whether you might be investing in Solana, whether you might be developing something for Solana or investing into something that's built on top of Solana. It has implications for you, and I will talk about that in this video. And I will enumerate all the reasons that, as far as I see them, for that rally. So don't forget to like this video if you want more content like this, and also subscribe to my channel. And it's really important for the YouTube algorithm. Please click that like button. All right, so the reasons are, and I mean, the first reason is quite obvious. All the sellers are gone, right? So price can only fall if there are sellers that are willing to sell at that low price. And, I would say everyone that wants to sell Solana, they've already sold it, right? And they are gone, and, bye-bye. And many of them will never come back because they got burnt, right? And as it always is, most people buy when the prices are high, when there's exuberance in the market, and everyone thinks like, oh, it's going to continue like that, right? Most people buy during those times, and I did as well. I started when it was back at $40 or something over a year ago, and then I did just dollar cost averaging. I bought some at high prices, but then all the way down, I did my dollar cost averaging DCA all the time, right? And I bought some, and quite an amount of SOL at $9.30 at the end of the year. So, but all the sellers, they are now gone, right? And most of them, especially the US investors, they wanted to sell before the end of the year just to realize their tax losses. They don't have the wash sale rule as we have for stocks, so they could buy back anytime. And probably some of them have bought back in the first days of the new year, right? Then, there are a few other things. There is that bonk thing going on. Bonk is a meme coin, like the Shiba Inu dog breed and stuff like that, but it's built on top of Solana, and it has been quite a success, right? People are trading that thing and are thinking like, man, I can get in really early. It has just been created. And it puts some volume on the Solana dexes, the decentralized exchanges, which gives some more Solana excitement. And that bonk coin, in the end, if you compare it to Dogecoin and SHIB and all these type of things, this thing is built on Solana, right? So you have fast payments, right? With super low fees and everything, right? So, and it scales way better than Dogecoin can. And it has, the smart contract functionality that comes with Solana and everything, right? So it's probably, among all those meme coins, probably the best one, right? And it might, People might find that out over time, and who knows, right? Maybe Bonk will be a success, but right now it's just helping Sol. It's helping Solana because Solana now has a successful meme coin as well, right? Then what has been driving the brutal downfall of the Sol price last year? It was definitely the FTX collapse, and it was also the for me, I would almost say the fake news that NFT platforms are migrating away from Solana, right? You read it everywhere, right? And even those famous personalities as BitBoy, right? Ben Armstrong on his Twitter account did a poll like, does the migration away from Solana of DeGods and Utes, right? Those are the two successful NFT platforms, right? Does the migration, will that be the end of Solana? And the way that poll was worded, it's like it seems it's a fact that DeGods and Utes, very, very important NFT platforms, are leaving Solana. They are migrating. And you find that everywhere in the press. But it's actually not true, right? It's just that they were only doing Solana in the past, and now they are opening up for some select few other blockchains as well, and especially Polygon in that case. And that is completely normal and good for them as a platform, but they are not leaving Solana in any way, right? It's like you have like a book publishing house, let's say Random House, a very successful one, and let's say up until now they have only been selling their books on Amazon, right? And now they say, oh, we're not only selling on Amazon, we're also selling on Barnes and Nobles now, right? Would that be a reason for the Amazon, stock price to kind of have, or worse? It would not, right? Because man, the NFT platforms do their thing and Solana does its thing, right? And it's just like these NFT platforms are so successful that they just have to support other platforms as well, and there is no migration, right? It's just a bridge and an option for those NFT owners to do it on the other blockchains, right? And I still feel that Solana is very well positioned for all that growth in the NFT space, right? They don't have 100% a market share, right? No, they don't. There's other blockchains that have NFTs, right? But they will keep a big, big share of the market just because they scale the best, right? So when the NFTs really take off, and NFTs can still be one of the most promising fields that can catapult crypto into mass adoption, right? Just because it's so much fun for the average user to do something with NFTs and JPEGs and stuff like that. And then we have kind of the tokenization of real world assets that are, with NFTs as well. And yeah, so it seems like the price went down in December because people thought like, oh, now that's the end of Solana. And you've been finding that everywhere in the press, right? It's the end of Solana because DeGods and Utes are migrating away while they are not. They are just not migrating away, right? It's weird, right? That this narrative of their migrating away has, taken its foothold in the press and on Twitter and social media everywhere. Okay, so people are now realizing, oh, they are not migrating away, right? So that also drives the rally. And then people are also realizing all the developers are still there, and all the validators are still there, and it's still a vibrant community of highly committed and highly capable people in the Solana world, right? So people are recognizing that. That drives the Solana price upwards. And then also, of course, there is the general kind of shift towards more riskier assets these days, because at the end of the tunnel, people see like the end of interest rates increases coming at some point this year, and the interest rates increases that have been performed so far are starting to have an impact, right, on the labor market and all these type of things. So all that, inflation thing and the fear that the Fed has to increase rates and has to keep increasing rates more, this fear is fading away a little bit now. And that's good for all risky assets like tech stocks and also for crypto. And yeah, but for Solana especially, I feel like it was a big overreaction. After the FTX collapse and the DeGods and the Utes kind of narrative, it was a big overreaction on the downside, and people are now finding out, oh, that was an overreaction. And then last reason, well, it's the beginning of the year, so people might have realized their losses last year, and they now say, okay, now I can accumulate again, right? So those are many reasons. And what does it mean for you? Well, if you're not invested in Solana yet, I can definitely recommend, and that's not financial advice though, it's just my personal opinion. I think it will be a good idea to add some, right? To add some to your portfolio, right? And Sol is a risky asset, as everything else, also as tech stocks and every other crypto. So, stay below 1% or so of your net worth with Solana, and below 2 or 3% with crypto. Yeah. So, and also look at all the projects that are going on. Right. There will be another hackathon going on with Solana. So there's going to be new projects. Look at the last hackathon, the summer camp that was happening last year, and my company Bitoku was participating in that. You can go to the solana.com/summercamp. You see all the projects that participated. Find my company Bitoku. Link is down in the description. There you see the slide deck with all our plans and stuff like that. And look also into projects that are building on Solana, because they have a bright future. And that, obviously, my favorite project built on top of Solana is my own company, Bitoku.io. And we are selling our founders nodes right now. So if you want to be part of Bitoku, which is the storage layer for Bitoku, you can do so right now. Just go to Bitoku.io and grab your founders nodes. There's a light paper on there, so you see everything. And yeah, so that's my recommendation. And of course, do your own research, right? If you say, hey, risky assets are not for me, and there are many people that don't want to invest in risky assets, and for good reason, right? And it has to do with age, it has to do with personality and all these type of things. So that is perfectly fine. So then keep your hands off, right? And one of the reasons also that I didn't mention before, for the reason for the rally, is what's called a short squeeze, right? So I'll tell you what a short squeeze is, but before that, don't forget to hit that like button, because that will prevent you from getting squeezed, right? So what is a short squeeze? It just means people that have shorted Sol, right? So they have borrowed Sol and sold it, and at some point they have to buy it back to cover their losses, right? To have a stop loss, so or to take their profits, right? Because it has been going down all the way. So they took their profits, they bought it, but then it went up, and then other people that have shorted it, they are out of the money, right? Because if they shorted it at some point when it was at $8 and now it's at 16, 17, they are accumulating losses, and they have to buy back their Sol at some point in time just to limit their losses, right? If Sol rises more, which is very well possible, then their losses would, be more and more. And that's the thing with short selling. Your losses are basically unlimited, right? So at some point you just have to tap the brake and the emergency brake and limit your losses. and uh, and that creates demand for Sol because the short sellers have to buy them back. And we've seen a lot of short squeezes in history. Some of the recent ones are Tesla, which had that in 2019, and we've seen it with GameStop and so many others. Right? It can be a great driver for phenomenal rallies that can 10x something in no time, right? And we've seen 10x's in no time in the crypto space so many times before, right? So does that mean it is kind of certain or even probable, likely that Sol will 10x now in the near future? Of course not, right? So far from it. We don't know, right? There will probably be a pullback. It has 2x now in 2 weeks, and after that rise, there will be a pullback. Nobody knows how deep the pullback will go. In my personal opinion, that pullback will probably be another buy the dip opportunity. And in general, I believe we will see some price gains in the crypto space in general in 2023. I think, high risk assets like crypto and tech stocks, they will recover first, right? And then will be the recovery in like the S&P 500, in the Dow Jones and things like that. It has always been like that in history. And yeah, this could be the beginning, but it could be just a bull trap, and then it could go back down. And but my personal opinion is probably to the latest by the middle of the year, we will see a broad recovery in high risk assets. That's how I see it, and it could be even faster. All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and catch you guys later.